Mswati inkosi ithula akayithathe akahambe nayo akayithathe yotenza bakhe wone akayithathe
Very good morning once again. It is Kusile Breakfast Show, 6 a.m. Central African Time, the 26th of March. Thank you so much once again for waking up with us here on the program. We promise you a very informative one, and one that will get you looking up and looking forward to your Thursday. This morning we want to start our day by having very important conversations. The first one is going to be around clinical psychology. Eswatini is hosting a foreign clinical psychologist from South Africa with a very decorated academia with qualifications. He is going to be in the country quarterly and helping Eswatini understand and frame the state of mental health in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We are looking forward to having that conversation. We're also having Eswatini Air as we hosted the general manager of Eswatini Air. We look at all the progress that they've made as Eswatini Air/Renac, as well as the new Zambia-Lusaka route that is expected to be launched on the 1st of April. Outside of that, we do want to look at the top stories this morning across our major newspapers. All right, we start with the Eswatini Observer, and on the front page, the top story says, revealed FSRA chair surety in the Asian's Castle Hotel lease. That is Reverend Senzo Hlachwayo, who signs deed binding him as surety for the obligations of Asian tenant in a 5-year lease. He steps down as FSRA board chair and cites personal reasons. In other stories, D-Day for electricity tariff announcement tomorrow, and Snart Sophia run to court to stop Tukoswa Congress. The sports stories from the Eswatini Observer: 2027 AFCON qualifiers. Rusty Eritrea stun Sihlangu. Sihlangu fall to a 2-0 defeat against Eritrean outfit that has been inactive since the year 2019. Eswatini face massive deficit ahead of Somhlolo return leg. Nsingizini run riot to book semi-final spot, and Instacash ESSA ball games boosted to 600,000 emalangeni. Now we look at the Eswatini Daily News, and the top story there is Lubulini youth get business boost as the UNDP hands over startup kits. The Lubulini youth graduates posing on that photo with their repair startup kits together with Minister for Economic Planning and Development Dr. Tambo Gina and UNDP resident representative Henrik Franklin. The Deputy Prime Minister leads 16,500 emalangeni boost for gospel star Sabelo Matse. The sponsorship presentation was held at the DPM's office on Wednesday, where the Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Kusile led the gathering to recognize Matse's achievement and to support his journey. 6 more foreigners have been charged over illegal gambling and migration. Lions Club launches garden to feed 120 children at Lavundla Mandi, and Eswatini girls are urged into STEM as gender gap threatens innovation. Eswatini Daily News Sports Stories: 6 Mabone. Ruthless and Nsingizini Hotspurs put National First Division side Msumbe Manchester to the sword in a 6-2 massacre to advance to the semi-finals of the Ngwenyama Cup in grand style. In other stories, Sihlangu slips in Morocco, and Tiger Woods returns to action with TGL loss. All right, asibahlole net market sitabuya sibuke ndzaba futhi Eswati.
Akayithathe akahambe nayo.
Labo labasebuhlungwini abakhohlwe mtotonke letindvo temhlaba.
Those that are in pain must forget all the problems
Ngoba
they
kuthi
have.
answer la kuletindvo temhlaba.
Because the things of the earth have got no answer.
Answer la ikhona khona.
But the answer that we have
Ikulona losetule
is
emazulwini.
all morning.
Nangishumayela nini ngisuke ngidishumayela kwananami.
When I'm preaching here, I'm preaching to
I
myself.
receive umoya longcwele.
I receive the Holy Spirit.
I declare ukuthi a turnaround is coming my way.
Memethela ukuthi a turnaround is coming in my life.
Akayithathe akahambe nayo.
Sinze sinamukela ehlelweni sibuke nathi indzaba tethu taSwati liphini ilandvu nankhulu imphunga Kusile dladla lithi bantfu labakhubatekile nalabo labanemakhono abasekelwe kude bativele bangemalunga emmango lawo ke labalekile ngemakhono abo. Liphini ilandvu nankhulu belikhuluma emahhovisini alo ngalesithathu malivalelisa sabelo mathe libhekisa eveni leZimbabwe kulemphela sonto la ayakhona kuyawuhlabela.
Kube injabulo yodwa kusabelo mathe lo ngumhlabeleli lokhubatekile loyawuhlabelela eHarare eZimbabwe kulempela sonto. Sabelo ke ubongelwe liphini lendvunankulu imphunga Kusile dladla lelimfisele indlela lenhle nokuthi sawuyomelela live laseSwatini le eZimbabwe.
Sisawenta lo msebenzi sabanenhlanhla sahlangana netihlobo tethu taseZimbabwe eBranson Publishers. Lo nyalo sewungumngani wethu lomkhulu seyipartner yethu lemkhulu lenkhulu lathuma ibona kubo social media ukuthi kunendzaba lenje base bathinza nangimake walaba lesive sethu lesikhubatekile. So lo msebenzi akusonje umsebenzi omncane, umsebenzi lomkhulu lengifisa kwekuthi fozwa singawubukeli khashana sisonzele siwuphushe khona lo Maswati atodiva na ukuthi nangembala angemaswati.
Luhambo ke lwasabelo lusekelwe nabetindiza kuleli Eswatini Air ngelithikithi lekuhamba nekubuya.
Siyajabula kakhulu sibaka Eswatini Air sabelo ukumukela on board. Sikwendele lithikithi lakho lishuwishiwe line ticket number. Uyahamba vele eHarare sikugadzile nangelisombo sibuya nawe.
Of the Republic of Indonesia, I present a donation in the form of self-made make-to-measure suits for Mr. Sabelo.
Nebemndeni weconsular yelive lase-Indonesia baka Ashraf nabo ke bona ke bamthungele emasudu netimpahla latawutigcoka phambili yena naloyo lamphekelethelako. Kanzi-ke belibandla loyi-council yalabakhubatekile nenhlangano yakaFotswa nabo bambongele sabelo. Sabelo ke uthi uyatimangala ukuthi kuthandwa kangaka kanti lapha eveni wesweleke nemavi ekubonga.
Ngiyabonga kungathi uNkulunkulu konke lenikwendako ade nani ade seceleni eduze nani konke nje ngoba uNkulunkulu uyabona ungibabe kithi uNkulunkulu uyasilombela ukuthi yasigcina. So uNkulunkulu bekabona ukuthi ngeke sifane ngokuphila kwethu.
Tindvuna tembuso nesive nalabanye labatsanze kungaveli bamsekele ngemali lengaba ngu-16,500 emalangeni latayisebentisa kutsenga loko lokumnanzi asaya kulolu hambo. Lobikako ngingiyani Msibi ngisembabane.
Indvuna yetekwatisa umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya ithi kude-ke lovimbako ukuthi eMaswati lanelikhono lekukhicita tintfo tsite etinkhundleni tekuchumana pheceleti ema-content creator azuze ngemsebenti wawo. Kepha-ke loku yintfo uhulumende layisebentako naleto tinkampane letitsintsekako. Indvuna ikuvete loku ngesikhatsi ivele ngephambi kwelikomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwelitiko layo endlini yetimpunga.
Litiko letekwatisa lidumiswe kakhulu kuleli bandla ngemsebenti leliwendako yokuthuthukisa tebuciko kulelive kanye nekwenta siciniseko sekuthi live liba nayo imithetho livikela emaswati etinkundleni tetekuchumana. Lamanye malunga leli komiti atsanze kwati endvuneni yetekwatisa ukuthi ingabe sime kuphi isivumelwano lasayina uhulumende nenkampani yetebuciko iGoogle kanye nekuthi emaswati lawo lanelikhono pheceleti ema-content creators atawucela nini kani kuzuza ngemsebenti lawukhicitako etinkhundleni tekuchumana.
Sicela nje ukuthi indvuna imane isicatshudisa isichazele nje ukuthi yini lokwendekile kuloko indvuna beyendani beyithini le MOU nayo nayikhona simane sithole ikhophi sitoyifunda sito understand nje ukuthi kwendekani ngoba phela is a topical issue event.
Ndvuna lehloniphekile i-MOU ya khabo Google seyibange kunemsindo lomkhulu lavene sekube nekukhuluma losekube kunengi losekufaka nema-accusations lesicabanga ukuthi indvuna namhla itawa clarifya yentele lelive lonke kutothi go on record koko kuthi kahle kahle what is the MOU ithini le MOU njengoba kabuta lo mhlonishwa uthini Google to the nation yeMaswati or to the government yeMaswati usithembiseni nangabe kukhona sike sambuta regulator yena isikhom sabuta ukuthi isikhom njengoba wena kunguwe lobukena naletinto leti wena wake wame-engage in lo Google wake wathini kuwe ukuthi bantu abethu batokhona kubhadaleka i-content.
Seyiphendula indvuna yetekwatisa umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya ukubeke kwacaca ukuthi kude ngisho namunye umuntu kulelive nakuhulumende lolwa nalezivumelwano saGoogle. Indvuna ithi lezivumelwano sitihambe tonke tingoni letifanele futhi indzaba lesachubeka nekusetshenzwa. Indvuna ithi indzabeni ema-content creators hulumende uyachubeka nekusebenzisana netinkampani leto letitsindzekako kule ndzaba emaswati kakhulukati insha ayibeke umoya phansi.
Ngicela ukuthi siyishare ngoba nidzinga ukuthi niyibone. I think it's important nitibone nona nifundzele kona. But lenzaba yaka YouTube is not part of this, but ngicela ukuthi niyibuke so you can satisfy yourselves lokuthi ithini, but we can assure the house ukuthi yahamba through the right procedures yaka AG yaka nase cabinet. So yahamba vele leyo migwaco leyo. Ngicela ukuclearisha something ngalenzaba yokuthi liyaka Google. Che, I think mhlambe sifuna sibe nokuvumelana ukuthi sifuna kubabo bani kusasa and sibe ne-balance between local nabangaphandle and sibe nekuthi ngathini sithole indlela yokuthi nalaba lakhaya abantwana bathole abantu abantu abaceleni kwabo batofunza lokuthi kwente njani kwenziwa kanjani and how do you deal in this world. Lenza by monetization I think ngicela siyibuke ngindlela etimbili. Yecala vele basho lawo ukuthi asisiba nengahle to be able to make us attractive kubo. But ke lokho akusho ukuthi asikwati ukukhuluma nabo individually ukuthi what other things can they give us before sibe le group. So that ngoba naseseni igroup senibanengi che lokunye lokuba inkinga ukuthi asisaboni nekufanana. And so things take a long time in my committees consultant nani kanzi kukhona ema low hanging fruit letinto leti lapho abantwana bangwathi kuthola le monetization.
Indvuna kubheka ukuthi iletheke timpendulo kuleminye imibuto lebutwe ngiyomalunga aleli komiti. Kubika lingithini kule ngisephalamende.
Indvuna litiko letekuhlela umnotfo ibambisene namhlabuhlangene United Nations Development Program sabanikete bantfu labasha labalishumi impahla yokusebenta kukhenikhathi incingo. Kanti-ke indvuna umhlonishwa Dr. Tambo Gina ithi lena ingamatamo yekunciphisa inombolo yebantfu labasha labahleti emakhaya labeswele umsebenzi. Nomcimbi bewukatse ubanjelwe enkhundleni eLubulini.
Ngekubambisana kwahulumende kanye namhlabuhlangene UNDP, insha lelinganiselwa 15 ihlonyiswe ngelikhono lekulungisa tincingo. Indvuna yelitiko letekuhlela umnotfo umhlonishwa Dkt. Tambo Gina ibonge baka UNDP ngekusekela lo msebenti longephansi kweluhlelo lekuthiwa i-IEP lolubuke kuthuthukiswa kwebantfu labasha ngemakhono.
Bayaqashwa yini noma sithatha umuntu longasebenzi ahluphekile simtraine aphize awuhlale ekhaya nalokutraina sikhanze ukuthi kuyasita labanye sivele sibafake tingaphaneni sizile ngaphandle thatha naba abantwana ubabuke sizabaholela emva kweminyaka emibili udabe soyabuka ukuthi ingabe lo muntu ngamqasha yini usenentela bese uyamthatha kufanele insha sinike emakhono ibe nawo.
Lomelele inhlangano yaka UNDP kuleli Henrik Franklin uthi kubalulekile ukuthi bantfu babe nalo likhono thide lekutiphilisa lelitobasita kokuthi bakwati ukuthi sungulela emabhizinisi.
Eswatini, over half of young people aged 15 to 35 are unemployed, much higher than the national unemployment rate, which is about a third of the workforce.
Bantfu labasha bathite sive asingasacalati eceleni singafelwa tincingo asivele siconze ngco kubo njengoba sebabo mechanic ngekuphelela.
Mina bengathi nje luthotho ngivula ifoni konke nje bathi nyalo sengakwati diagnose ngilungise ifoni.
Ngidovele ecaleni kwakulikhonyanyana ngoba bengiyinfo phela lingayazi mina nje bengathi ifoni ngifunze bengathi sicingo mangene manje ufaka rice bese seliba rice bathi manje hayi ngiyathi lo sile rice hayi lekhona indlela lekahle lengcono kakhulu lengabuyisa icingo bese simele bathi labafunzile umuntu lohlakaniphile nakacelwa imfishi akakhokhe imfishi but ukhokha mdweba uze lo lofuna imfishi angatobuya hluphe kusasa. Siyambonga hulumende nato tonke tinsita labambisene nato for this program ukuthi ibe successful. Lengisho ngako it was not easy for them ukuthi ibe successful. But they work hard ukuthi mina ngikhona ukuthi lamhla ngitibithe ngokuthi ngi-qualified technician.
Labantfu labasha bekatse babesifundza saselibonjeni kanye nebesifundza saseshiselweni kubika Thembelihle Magutshwa elubulini.
Tekulima selivakalise kudvumala nekujabha kwalo ngebantfu labacekela phansi imitamo yekulwa nesifo semlomo nemasondo labajubake bofenisi labakhelwe kutsi tinkhomo tingeweli kuya emaveni yabomakhelwane. Litiko letekulima lihlangene nebalimi ehhotela le-The George lakhona bekubanjwe khona i-feedlot indaba.
Bafuyi bahlangene ehhotela le-The George kaManzini lapho khona kuchubeka i-feedlot indaba lekhulumisa tindzaba letiphatselene nekufuya netinkinga letikhona basafuya tinkomo bafuyi. Liveke lihlaselwe isifo semlomo nemasondo kungumanje lokutsikameta impilo yabo njengoba impilo yabo igcile kakhulu kutokwe tilwane kufuya. Indvuna yetekulima umhlonishwa Amandla Chauka ithi lo mhlangano utawukhulumisa ukuthi bafuyi babambiseka njani kodwa bachubeka bathengise baphile nekuqinisa-ke lona lihlongosi lwetekufuya.
We are currently formulating what we call a comprehensive program to vitalize the livestock sector. What we are currently doing is now to go to a national mass vaccination. The cordon fence in Mkwakwini has been stolen. The new one.
Indvuna-ke ivete nekujabha lokukhulu ukuthi kusaliwa nesifo semlomo nemasondo kwendiwa yonke imitamo. Labanye-ke bayicekela phansi leyo mitamo ngekujubadalati lofakiwe ukuthi ufane uvimbele kwewela kwetinkomo emaveni abomakhelwane. Kodwa-ke tinkomo tibonakala tihamba sinome kanjani ngoba loyo dalati uyakhishwa. Ngakulokunye uthe ayi-619 ama-feedlots labhalisiwe kodwa-ke lasebentako angu-212 lokusho ukuthi kumele kubekwe ukuthi lawa lavaliwe yini tinkinga labhekana nato. Kanti sihlalo welikomiti libuke kusebenza kwelitiko letekulima ephalamende umhlonishwa Bongenkosi Dlamini uthi bayalibambisa kakhulu litiko konke lelikudzingako.
Going forward kufuna lokuthi sibonisane lokuthi mithetho mini lesingayenda one to actually assist litiko to fundraise or maybe get more money ukuthi ikhona kuba nema strategies la ngalwa nale FMD 1. 2 maybe kungaba ukuthi sibabambise in terms of imithetho labayilethako eParliament ibe easy lokho ukuthi isheshe iphase because vele thina is responsible for le mithetho.
Ngaphambilini live belinetinkomo letingcako esigidini 1 million kodwa-ke kungumanje tinciphile njengoba tinkomo letikhona eveni tibalelwa ku-600,000. Lobekako ngingiyani Msibi ngasehhotela Lady George kaManzini.
Ingwenyama idlala inzima lenkhulu ekutheni umnotho wakuleli usimame ngekuthi ikhange bahlanyela imali iphindze yasekele kuvulwa kwamabhizinisi lehlukene kuleli. Lokhu kuvetwe ngumphathi welibhange lelikhulu Dr. Philip Nisi ngesikhathi yahalalisela yona ingwenyama ngekuhlanganisa iminyaka lengama40 ihola sive seswatini.
Siyahalalisela emakhosi ngebuholi lobuqotho nalobuvelele kule minyaka lengama40. Simbonga uNkulunkulu ngawo emakhosi, sibonga ingwenyama ngebuholi lobukhombise intuthuko nenqubekela phambili. Ubuka takhiwo, ubuka kukhula kweminotho over le minyaka lengaka kuyakhomba kona ukuthi inhlitiyo yemakhosi isesiveni, inhlitiyo yemakhosi isekuthuthukeni kweMaswati. Inkosi yeMaswati ayikabi neligalelo nje phela la eSwatini kodwa ibe neligalelo ku-region nasemhlabeni wonke. Sibuka intuthuko nekusimama kwemabhange netemnotho. Lomuhla sikhuluma ngetimali letilondolotiwe letigcinwe tindlu temabhange cishe setenga ku-140 billion masihlanganisa emabhange nema-non-bank financial institutions. Siyabonga bukhosi, siwabonge emakhosi, siyibonge ingwenyama Mswati wesithathu ngalobuholi lobukhombisako ukuthi buya embili, buqhubekisela eMaswati embili. Sibonge nayo yonke intuthuko leyendekile eveni nekuthula emakhosi lasendela kona nekulondolodwa nekugcina kwemasiko lokusendako sibe ngeMaswati lesiba sive ngawo. Sithi lunwelelo ludze wena waphakathi bayethe wena waphakathi dlamadoda Nkosi Dlovukazi Mhlekazi.
Kutawusetjentiswa i-artificial intelligence kude kuthi sishesheke sibonakale sifo sesifuba sengati kulabo labasebenta etimayini nalabo labake basebenta khona etimayini. Livela kangwane nelaseNingizimu Afrika kanye nele Mozambique bangeneleke umhlangano sikole lohlose kuhlola ukuthi kuhlola letifo ngetebuchwephesha kanye ne-AI kungasita kanjani kude letifo tisheshe tibonakale. I-research workshop on computer-aided detection tools and ultra-portable X-ray units.
Lamavela amathathu ahlangene nje ahlose kutfola tisombululo ekuhloleni isifo sesifuba sengati kanye nesilikhosisi sengakabagulisi bantfu kakhulukati labo labake basebenta etimayini. Akhuluma ngesikhathi avula lo mhlangano umcondzisi we-Stop TB Partnership Dr. Lucia Duyuti uthi lokukhulunywa kulo mhlangano kuyingqayizivele.
Not because we are all a bunch of nerds caring about X-ray and AI, is because the easiest we make it for people to be diagnosed or screened.
Dr. uthi isizathu salokhu ukuthi kukhulunywa ngekusebenzisa tebuchwephesha hayi nje kuhlola isifo sesifuba sengati kuphela kodwa nesifo lesiphatha labake basebenta etimayini isilikhosisi. Ukusebenzisa kwetebuchwephesha lokufaka ekhathi i-AI kutawenta ukuthi kube melula ukuthi abantu batfulakale uma banalesifo. Mabhalane wenhlangano yalabake basebenta etimayini eSwatini Migrant Mine Workers Association swamiwa bamajele uthi bayayijabulela kakhulu imetamu yekusebenzisa tebuchwephesha kutfola isifo sesifuba sengati kanye nesilikhosisi.
Sitawukhona ukuthi nangabe kuphumelela lemphumela ihamba kahle. Sikhona ukuthi ema-mine workers lamaningi akhona ukuthi abukwe noma a-checkwe ahlolwe ngetempilo ukuthi bangabe unayo yini TB noma isilicosis. And ke kithi thina lesisebenta etimayini kwengeta ukuthi kusitshele ukuthi lo muntu lona kumele ancephetelwe noma cha. Lokushothi-ke sikujabulela ngoba kushaya tinyoni letimbili. Kushaya tempilo, kushaya temalungelo ukuthi bathole sincephetelo. Lolu cwaningo njengoba ngishito ukuthi lwenziwe eMozambique, lwenziwa la eSouth Africa, lwenziwa eSwatini. Siyakholelwa ukuthi ngilo kanye lolutawusita kwekuthi liphakamise lezinga lokusebenzisa tebuchwepheshe.
Lisekela sihlalo endlini yabayesikhulu ekomidini elibukela indzaba tesifo tesifuba sengati eSwatini Parliamentary TB Caucus lophinza belunga leParliament lenkundla sesithobela umhlonishwa amancoba Silongonyane kanye nalobukela inhlelo ebandleni lelilwa nesifo sesifuba sengati eSwatini National TB Control Program. Mancoba Tshabetse bathi njengalokhu leSwatini lisemkhankasweni wokuvula timayini labakutfole kulomhlangano ukutawasita kakhulu ukuvikela tisebenti etimayini.
Litasisita lolwati ukuthi noma ngase siyasebenza emuva eSwatini eParliament sisebende tonenza batabo TB sisebende sesinalo lwati bese kulenza balo ibutako yekuthi kulenza bekuhlola vele emaswati lamaningi mawubuka nebantu abaningi nje noma ngasase emaswati kuphela bagcine balenyetha ukuthi ngendeka lomnyala linyathe ukucala ukuthi uphutile ukuhloleka noma ke lomnya alinyade ukuthi yena ukhethe nje ukuthi mhlambe angayi kuyothi ihlola nalokwana loka so ke mangabe ke kunalenkinga ukuthi abantu abahloleke noma bahloleka ngelizinga leliphansi lokhu lesebakusho esikuthola namhlanje kwekuthi sekutawusenjethezwa zebuchwepheshe bo AI kusulo mlahloleke utalisita kakhulu live la kangwane ngoba lo muntu utawuhloleka ngesikhathi utawukhumbula ukuthi mangabe sifo sihloleke ngesikhathi kuba lula nekusi lapha ngoba iTB iyavikeleka iTB iyelapheka manje akusilo qiniso ukuthi ke solo iTB ibulala abantu ngenza ukuthi abakhona sibahloleke siloku ke labakushokola ngicanje sibe sibaseswatini nathi sitawuvele sikusebenzise kakhulu lolwati lolu singaqaleli phansi kanti bavele basendele sisekelo.
Ingwenyama iwavulile itivulile timayini ekhaya eSwatini le kusibeka insaye yake kutiko letempilo ukuthi lento esiqiniseko ukuthi tonke letimayini nato tonke tisebenti tale timayini tiyakhona ukuthi tihlolwe popolelwe iTB nayo isilicosis lebangwa lithuli lwemgodi.
Ngalesihlanu ukubheka ukuthi labahamba embili ekuhlanganiseni lo msebenzi lapha eNingizimu Afrika lokufaya ekhasi umcondzisi weStop TB Partnership bachubekele eSwatini bangenele ilanga lapho live laseSwatini litawube ligubha khona lisuku lekulwa nesifo sesifuba sengati kanye nekusukunyiswa kabusha kwelikomiti laseParliament elibukela indzaba tesifuba sengati lobikako umfortune dlangamandla ngisorezenberg eNingizimu Afrika.
Indzabeni temidlalo mengameli wenhlangano lengamele umdlalo webhola kuleli Peter Smelana udumisa ingwenyama eMaswati ekuthenini ibe nembono ekuhlanganisa ibhola nemasiko lekungumsebenzi lohlanganisa sive uphinze uthuthukise ibhola. Smelane bekakhuluma uma halalisela ingwenyama ngekuhlanganisa iminyaka lenge-40 seloku yathatha sihlalo sebukhosi.
We are the only live leli blender emasiko nefootball kude lelini njoba nathi sikunengwenyama cup edlalisa emasiko nebhola so ngelanga lokugcina nje ubone kugcwele vele ukuthi ibhola ngemasiko lokho siyakubonga engwenyameni ukuthi isentele lokho because vele incayize vele ibhola sithuthukile because uma sicala sibasebholeni saqala ngekurenta ema-offices ngiyakhumbula nje ukuthi sasirenta leli office lapha ngesheya umuya lapha ngasesifunzana sasuka lapho ke sasesithenga-ke sigwaca ngale mali esithola-ke le ka-FIFA sigwaca ke bekuyindlu lebeyincane but-ke sase siyachubeka siyayidevelopha lokuthi si-extende sifake i-extension wing. Le extension wing njengoba ngikhuluma nje sengema-offices kurenta tinkampani letinenganyanyana lokuthi tikhone lokuthi tisebentele khona nathi siyibhola sithole lele sikutholako. Njengoba nathi nje ukuthi sine-national team lo ehambile nje nyalo iye eMorocco yodlala ne-Eritrea Hulumende uyasichasa. Siyabonga kakhulu kuloko. Uvame kusiniketa on a yearly basis 5 million.
Inkampani yaka-Instacash yenyuse imali lesekela ngayo imidlalo yebhola yetikolo e-Eswatini School Sports Games kusuka ku-410,000 emalangeni kuya ku-450,000 emalangeni. Lokhu-ke kuvetwe ngumphathi wayo lenkampani Nxumalo nakusukunyiswa le midlalo yalo nyaka eSgwaca House eMbabane.
Inkampani yaka-Instacash seyingena eminyakeni lemine soloyisekela imidlalo yebhola etikolweni lengaphasi kwe-Eswatini School Sports Association. Le nkampani eminyakeni lephelile beyisekele le midlalo ngemali lengu-410,000 emalangeni kanti kulo mnyaka batawusekela le midlalo ngemali lengu-450,000 emalangeni. Amemetela lokusekela le midlalo kulo nyaka Mandla Chicks Nxumalo longomphathi wenkampani yaka-Instacash uvetile ukuthi budlelwano labanabo nenhlangano lengamele imidlalo etikolweni ngiko lokwenta bachubeke basekele le midlalo. Waphindze wabonga kakhulu kusebenzisana inkampani letahlukahlukene letifaka ekhatsi nemisakato yeSwatini TV lapho khona waqala eminyakeni lophelile kusakate le midlalo. Bongani Siyaya longumhloli omkhulu wetikolo itiko letemfundo ubonge Instacash ekuchubeka nekusekela le midlalo waveta kusipalitiko sebavele banalo uhlelo lolubuke kwenta imfundo yekushukumisa umtimba i-physical education kungako batfokota ukuthi tinkampani letifana ne-Instacash tibambisa uhulumende ekuhambiseni lona lolu hlelo. Mengameli wenhlangano lengamele imidlalo etikolweni zakhele Myeni uvetile bomgcoko bale midlalo kubafundzi kanye nasetikolweni letingatiwa abantfu labanyenti lapha eveni waphindze wagcizelela ukuthi bothishela abangadlalisi badlali labangafundzi njengoba lokho kubulala kukhula kubadlali abasebancane. Kulabo labasekele yona le midlalo labanye babo yiJoma Sports lebonakele eminyakeni lophelile isekela labafike kumancane ngetimpahla tekudlala kanye nema-tracksuits kanti nakulo mnyaka batosekela wona amaqembu ngawo amajezi ekudlala kusuka kumaqembu la-16 lapho khona longumeneja kule nkampani Philani Nxaba uvetile ukuthi batibophelele kuchubeka nekubambisa yena Instacash kanye na-School Sports kuthuthukisa ibhola etikolweni lapha eveni. Banye labafaka isandla kuyo le midlalo bafaka ikhatsi iWebstars lefaka imali lengu-20,000 emalangeni kanye ne-Andile Footwear letawunikela ngemakhokho ekudlala nema-wardrobe eSwatini letawunikela ngemasudu kumceceshi lotowuncoba kumancamo nemidlalo otodlala agcame kanye nalotashaya imagoli amanyenti. Inyuvesi Northwest itibophelele kunikelela timpahla tekudlala i-netball kubo champagne betikotsi. Umphathi wayo Instacash uphindze wagcizelela ngendzaba ye-World Cup kutsi tikolo letintsatfu letike tayitfola yona i-World Cup eminyakeni lemidlulile tifaka ikhatsi Mazini Central, Mbaka High School, Evelyn Bering kutsi angeke basayitfola lona ithuba leyo i-World Cup kodwa-ke sekutaba tikolo letinsha. Kanti kuyo le ndzaba i-World Cup Nxumalo uvetile ukuthi abakhetsi tikolo letidlale kahle kule midlalo kodwa-ke babuka sikolo lesisekeleke kahle kuyo le midlalo. Lobikako uLinda Dlamini eMbabane.
Wasitaphetsa kanjalo nzabathethu tesiswati sibahlola etimakethe sidabuya masinyane.
To all the viewers of Eswatini TV in the kingdom and beyond. Eswatini TV is regulated by the Eswatini Communications Commission through the Broadcasting Code and Broadcasting Guidelines. Under these instruments, the station commits to broadcasting information and news that have been fact-checked, programs and content in respectful language with no elements of hate speech, violence or sexual activity. If you hear any unsuitable content on this channel, you have a right to voice your complaints with the station management. Should you not be satisfied with the response or action taken, you can escalate your matter to the Communications Commission at PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Call 2406 7000 or send an email to info@esccom.org.za. For more information, visit www.esccom.org.za.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna sente ukukhiqiza lokusembili.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Back to the program, we are seeing a very interesting shift within the business landscape. We are seeing a lot of women taking up businesses and taking up entrepreneurship, and they are showing a lot of discipline, they are showing a lot of resilience, but also a lot of planning around it. But too often these women are locked out of the very systems that are meant to protect them. But there's a new program that is coming to play and coming to take them out of those doldrums, and it is called Guyendega Savings and Credit Cooperative. It is combining skills as well as development, access to finance, as well as structured support through key stakeholders. We speak to Grace Lulu now, who is the Savings and Credit Cooperative CEO at Guyendega, to really just help us frame this program as it is supposed to help women in business. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. Quite an interesting program here, because you are targeting women, and I love the fact that I'm talking to a woman myself. We've heard a lot of concern around, women who have done everything that they have to do, really, in checking all the boxes, but are quite concerned that sometimes the very same systems that are meant to accelerate and help them are locking them out. Tell us about this program, about its existence and the gap that you saw.
Thank you so much. This is a program that didn't come now, but it's a program that started in 2021, whereby we're trying all that we can to empower women, especially those in the rural areas, but every woman that we are targeting in the country of Eswatini, so that they be involved in businesses, they take up businesses. In fact, this is a program that has been introduced through the Taiwan ICDF, the Taiwan Technical Mission based in Maitapa, under the project of Women's Micro-Enterprise Mentoring and Capacity Building Program. We started in 2021, where we built capacity and skills amongst the women in doing business. Yes, and then it proceeded that after 2023, then these women were able to start their own savings and credit cooperative society. Why did we do that? We wanted to ensure that women, when they are involved in business, they should also learn how to save money. It's not all the time that they can go to financial institutions and go and ask for loans, but they can also build up their own capital so that they will be able to buy whatever they need in the business. So it was sort of teaching them a discipline on using finances.
Yeah. I'm interested in the fact that you are targeting particularly women who are already within a savings and cooperative structure. Why was it important for you to target women who are around an already existing financial structure instead of starting from scratch?
Yes. In fact, that was the whole idea of starting up the Women Empowering program in 2021, that we shouldn't just leave these women when the project ends, but we should ensure that they are within a structure. So the savings and credit was a structure which was seen that it will be ideal to house these women so that when the project ends, they are able to continue. And we are entering into the second phase of the program. They should also be part of the second phase as well, because we have built so much knowledge and skills within them on how to do business. So they should continue with the same knowledge that they have received. But now in the second stage, they are learning how to save money, how to use money, that is financial literacy. But at the same time, now they have access to finance because the program was coming up with a fund which we call the revolving fund for the women to start up their businesses. So we found that it will be proper to continue with them, not leave them behind, but continue with them until maybe the second phase. If we go on to the third phase, it will be the third phase as well. And that it's not just targeting these women that we have been working with, but we're saying we're covering the whole country. Anyone that is in business, especially women, it could be men as well. Yes, anyone that is in business can be part of Kuyendeka and also can be part of this program.
And I suppose that also validates why you call this a business acceleration program. That validates the acceleration in that context. What really changes for a woman entrepreneur once they enter this program, correct?
Yes. Because when we're talking about the acceleration program, we're saying, since you have received knowledge, you have received the skills to enter into business, now come along with us, walk with us the journey, so that we also assist you in mentoring you and also coaching you in the business. When it comes to probably markets and so on, we are saying, let us walk with you the journey. Let us find markets for whatever produce that you are doing. How can we assist you so that you grow in your business? Do not start a business and then you enter into challenges and then you leave the business. We're saying challenges are there. Let us work together to ensure that we come out of these challenges, and then you also see how you came out of the challenge. Probably you will be able to mentor another person. Yes.
There's three pillars here. There's access to finance, there's skills development, there's also stakeholder collaboration.
Yes.
Which amongst these three would you say has historically been the weakest link for women entrepreneurs in Eswatini?
Probably I would say the access to finance has been one, but also the collaboration
stakeholder
Yes,
collaboration.
that has also been a weakest link because we are all doing our things in our silos, you know, and you are doing it under a project. You want to achieve certain objectives in the project, but you are not working alone. We are all targeting one person here in terms of assisting that person to do business. So let us collaborate and ensure that we assist this person together. Yes.
I mean, you cite access to finance first, you know, amongst the historically weakest links, and I want us to really just drill further down into access finance because it is cited too often as a big thorn, particularly for this kind of conversation. How exactly will this Women's Business Startup Microfinance Revolving Fund work in practice in terms of access to finance?
Yes, that is why we have linked it with the Guyendega Savings and Credit Cooperative, that we are saying, women, please understand how finances are being used. What do finances mean to you? Even if you want to start up your business, know exactly how much money you need in your business by going through the process of doing your business plan, your cash flow. Understand exactly. Do not go for 100,000 when you exactly want 25,000. We are saying that you won't do that alone. We'll help you in the process of coming up with exactly the amount that you need, and that will also help you in terms of doing your business, because this is a loan. So it will also help you that you have the right capital that you need, that is going to assist you in having enough revenue so that you will be able to repay your loan.
So it's not only the access to finance as, you know, the definitive definition of the word, of the two words, access to finance, but also I see that you are also bringing into play, I think they call it financial literacy. They also call it financial prudence. And there's a key focus on that, because some people get the access to finance, but they don't know how to manage it or to spend it, really.
Exactly. That is where we are coming from. Yes, that we found people that came into our circle in our project looking for finance. Yes. Definitely we do have finance that we can offer them, but do you really understand how you are going to use this finance in your business? Do you really understand that this is the amount that you really need in the business? Because we have seen that sometimes we have given people the finance that they need, but then they tend to misuse the finance. A certain portion goes into the business, but then another portion goes somewhere else, and then the person finds it very difficult to repay the loan because the finances have not been used properly. And then we are also saying it is not always that you have to go to a financial institution to ask for finance, but you can also build your own finance through the financial discipline that we are also giving you, that be a member of a savings and credit cooperative, especially this Guyendega, which is a cooperative for all micro, small and medium enterprises in the country.
Yeah, and of course, that speaks to capacity building, and I appreciate the fact that it's not only on financial literacy or access to finance, but the stakeholder collaboration, very, very key, but also the skills development. You know, some of these skills they do not have, and they get to learn. They're even amongst some of, you know, the peers that they are part of this program. I do want to ask you, because you are working with women that are already part of Guyendega, you said that initially, how do you ensure that this program does not just benefit a select few, but can continue to have a ripple effect in communities?
Okay. Since Guyendega is formed by micro, small and medium enterprises in the country, so it's all over Eswatini. As long as you are a woman, And as long as you are also a man involved in micro, small, and medium business that you are doing, you can become a member of Guyendek. And in the program as well, we also ensure that we go out there and exhibit our program, and also tell everybody that you can become a member of Guyendek. We have road shows that we have planned already. We have done one already in Manzini, so we'll be hitting all the towns in the country to ensure that everyone becomes a member, as long as you have a business that is licensed. Because like I earlier said on that, we are collaborating with everyone that is involved in doing business. Our greatest partner is the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade. Under the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, we are working closely with the MSME department, where we are all in our efforts. We are trying to ensure that people are involved in business, especially the small and medium and enterprises in the country, because they form a backbone of the economy of the country. So we want to increase the MSME sector, making sure that everyone involved is involved in business. We are also trying to ensure that there is employment in the country, because we have seen that the rate of unemployment is quite high. So let us do all that we can to ensure that people are involved in business.
I mean, stakeholder collaboration is a key pillar in this program.
Yes.
I'm happy that you cite one key stakeholder, and you do say they are the most important one, which is the portfolio under the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, particularly the MSME development. And I know Mr. Mdulegi Dlamini, the director, is probably watching now.
Yes.
You work with him a lot, and he's a very active and a very keen guy, a passionate guy, particularly in MSME development. But if we say stakeholder collaboration, I think it's important for us to mention all the key players, right?
All right.
Who needs to come to the table for this to truly succeed?
Yes.
And the most important question is, are they showing up?
Yes. We are also working closely with SETCO. Yes, because they help us a lot in terms of building skills and knowledge on how to do business. We are also working closely with the cooperative department, which is a codec as well, to ensure that we build up the Guyendega Savings and Credit with all the skills that it needs, with all that is needed to ensure that Guyendega also complies with the regulations in the country, because it is a SACCO as well. And we are also collaborating with IPA as well, because we are ensuring that these women, if they have any products that need to be sold outside the country, IPA can help us in paving way so that these women are also able to exhibit within the country, exhibit outside the country, and also have access to the market. We are also collaborating with Bushfire, and because we have a stall at Bushfire, whereby we select some of the business women who are our members to also go and exhibit there, so that they will be able to meet other international customers and build up relationships, so that they will be able to expand their network, so that they will be able to sell their products. Yes.
And what has been your biggest breakthrough amongst these collaborations within the stakeholder framework, for lack of a better term? I have particularly walked into your stall at Bushfire, I think it was last year, if you do remember.
Yes, yes.
Just enjoyed some of the handicraft work by some of the women that you work with. And also I want you to speak to that experience briefly in terms of, was it fruitful to these women?
Mhm.
Because you did mention that, yes, they can get to sell their products, but in terms of the networking that platform at Malkins provides for these entrepreneurs, I want you to speak to that, but also just to take us into some of the fruits that you have seen with the APA collaboration in particular. Have there been women that have been, put in a position to go and exhibit outside of Eswatini and, locally?
Yes, through our collaboration, we have really received a lot from the collaboration that we have done, especially also with the handicraft sector within the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade. We have identified women out there who are involved in handicraft, and we have sort of sat down with them and also looked at what the market needs in terms of their products, especially those that are using grass. That is one example. We have sat down with them, looked at what the market needs on their products, and developed those products to be the products that are suitable for the market. So we have seen those women. They exhibited within the country. They also went to South Africa, went to Botswana, went to Taiwan, went to Italy, So
there's a cohort that just came back from India.
Yes, they also went to India. We have seen them really benefiting from the collaboration that we have done with IPA, with the handicraft sector, with ITC as well. They've also really helped those women to make sure that they sell their products, they build up their network. So now they know what they have to make and where is it going to.
Yeah, I often am concerned, and that's always just been a personal concern, and it's an uneducated concern, and I'm happy that you are here. Take us into that bushfire landscape. You have a stall there amongst other many stalls.
Yes.
And within your store, you have a plethora of products, right, by these women and these MSMEs in Eswatini. Are they able to sell and say, we are happy with what we have sold this weekend, or they are also comforted by the fact that they have made meaningful connections there?
Yes, I think it's both. They are able to make enough money. Some of them were able to say to us, I've never made so much money within 3 days, Yes. And they've also met other people. Yes, they've built their networks. Some of them are now working on the networks that they've built, and they are now making products which the market wants.
So they're exporting products to some of their industry friends from South Africa, Botswana, Mozambique, because some of them there. Right. Now, thank you so much. I think our time has run out, but I do want to ask you, a year from now, or perhaps because you've been running since 2021, it's 2026 now, that's about 5 years.
Yes.
Let's give it another 5 years, and I believe that's the medium term. What sort of measurable outcomes do you want to see in 5 years?
Okay, we have our own objectives in the project, that we want to see a number of women coming up with businesses that are sustainable. Yes, not just starting up a business, but it should continue and become sustainable and move from being micro to being medium and even to the large scale. And I think we have seen 1 or 2 businesses that are moving into being a large scale now. We have even said, no, we think we cannot offer you this finance that you need now within our fund. Probably we have to refer you to the bank.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, and we hope that the banks, because we know there's a conversation around trade finance, which has been quite of a big problem, but we know APA has been in conversation with them. Care to cite what they are trading in without mentioning their names? The 2 businesses that have seen significant growth?
Yes, one is trading in leather. I think there are one or two in leather.
I think I do know who that is. Okay.
Yes, and the other one is doing offices and the cabins in,
office furniture.
No, not
just the cabins.
Yes, they have cabins which you can make into an office. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
brilliant.
The containers, they call them the containers.
So their market is the other MSMEs who are getting into the business.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Grace Lulu, CEO of Kuyendeka Savings and Cooperative. We've come to the end of our conversation, just speaking on unlocking women-led enterprise growth under the stewardship of the Taiwan Technical Mission. Very important to mention. Let's go for a break. We have our news in English when we return.
Those that are in pain must forget all the problems they have. Because the things of the earth have got no answer. But the answer that we have is all the morning. When I'm preaching here, I'm preaching to myself. I receive the Holy Spirit.
I declare that a turnaround is coming my way.
Turnaround is coming in my life.
Welcome back. Our news in English now. The Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Kusile, says people with disabilities need support in order for them to have a sense of belonging in society. The DPM was speaking in her offices when bidding farewell and receiving gifts on behalf of Sabelo Mate, who will perform in Zimbabwe over the weekend.
Sabelo Matse, a talented artist with disability, will be flying to Zimbabwe, Harare, for a performance this weekend. Matse was congratulated by the Deputy Prime Minister, Senator Tulidladla, who wished him well in his performance, where he will be representing the kingdom.
Sisawenda lo msebenzi sabanenhlanhla sahlangana netihlobo tethu taseZimbabwe at Branson Publishers. Lo nyalo sewungumngani wethu lomkhulu, seyipartner yethu lenkulu. Lathuma ibona kubo social media ukuthi kunenzaba lenje base bathinza nangimake walaba lesive sethu lesikhubatekile. So lo msebenzi akusonje umsebenzi omncane, umsebenzi lomkhulu. Lengifisa kwekuthi fozwa singawubukeli khashana sisonzele ku siuphushe khona lo Maswati atodiva na ukuthi nangembala angemaswati.
Matse will be traveling to Zimbabwe courtesy of the Eswatini Air, who have paid a plane ticket for him.
Siyajabula kakhulu sibaka Eswatini Air Sabelo ukumukela on board. Sikwendele lithikithi lakho lishiwishiwe line ticket number. Uyahamba vele eHarare. Sikugatsile nangelisombo sibuya nawe.
Indonesian Consular Karim Ashraf donated designed suits and clothing as well as shoes for the weekend for Matse.
Of the Republic of Indonesia, I present a donation in the form of self-made, make-to-measure suits for Mr. Sabelo.
The chairperson of the National Advisory Council for Persons with Disabilities, Dr. Ngabongburi, and former President Mpumelelo Khumalo also congratulated Sabelo and applauded the Deputy Prime Minister for always being a champion on issues affecting people with disabilities.
Ngiyabonga ungathi uNkulunkulu konke lenikwendako ade nani ade seceleni eduze nani konke nje ngoba uNkulunkulu uyabona.
Sabelo says he was short of words because of the love that has been shown to him. Cabinet ministers and individuals donated an amount of 16,500 emalangeni as pocket money for Sabelo. Reporting, I'm Kian MCB, Babane.
The Ministry of Agriculture has expressed its disappointment in people who are letting down government's efforts of fighting the foot and mouth disease.
The Ministry of Agriculture held the feedlot in Indaba, where the ministry gathered farmers to discuss issues and possibly come out with solutions affecting the sector. The Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Mala Chawuka, says the meeting must discuss and assist the sector to grow in the face of the foot and mouth disease.
What we are currently doing is now to go to a national mass vaccination, whereby we are vaccinating all cattle in the country. We erected cordon fences around Kusile and Mkwakwini. 26 kilometers have already been done of cordon fences. And before we finish the project, the cordon fence in Mkwakwini has been stolen. And they got to the fences, pushed the fences down, uprooted some of it just to make sure that it lies down. And they pushed cattle across to South Africa and back again during the evening for crawling.
Going forward, kufuna lokuthi sibonisane lokuthi mithethomini lesingayenda, one, to actually assist Tiko to fundraise or maybe get more money ukuthi ikhona kuba nema strategies la ngalwa nale FMD one.
The Minister of Agriculture Portfolio Committee Chairperson, Honorable Dr. Bongengosi Dlamini, says as legislators, they are quite aware of the issues faced by the ministry and they will do all they can to assist. Not long ago, the country had over 1 million cattle, but now the country has just about 600,000 cattle, which is a decrease from 1 million cattle. Reporting, I am Kian MCB at the George Hotel in Manzini.
For Economic Planning and Development also has a story that we need to watch just now.
Eswatini government, in collaboration with UNDP in the Air program that seeks to provide the youth with skills to assist in job creation, has presented toolkits for cell phone repair to graduates that were trained under the Air program.
Good customer service as they continue with their business. I encourage them to see themselves not only as technicians, but as community problem solvers, job creators, and role models.
UNDP resident representative Henrik Franklin says these young people are now equipped with market-relevant skills in a sector with high demand.
And commitment to tackling youth employment, which also with a big sense of urgency in embracing the spirit of Inkwe. In Eswatini, over half of young people aged 15 to 35 are unemployed, much higher than the national unemployment rate, which is about 1/3 of the workforce.
Members of the graduates expressed their gratitude.
Bathi labafunzile umuntu lohlakaniphile nakacelwa imfishi akakhokhe imfishi but ukhokha mdweba uze lo lofuna imfishi angatobuya hluphe kusasa. Siyambonga hulumende nato tonke tinsita labambisene nato for this program ukuthi ibe successful. Lengisho ngako, it was not easy for them ukuthi ibe successful. But they work hard ukuthi mina ngikhona ukuthi lamhla ngithi bithe ngokuthi ngi qualified technician.
Eswatini government continues to commit to scaling up youth skill training, support entrepreneurship and strengthen digital and artisanal skills for a modern economy. Reporting, I am Tembeli Hlema Kuchwa at Lubulini.
Artificial intelligence will be utilized to enable early detection of tuberculosis among mine workers and former mine workers. The Kingdom of Eswatini, South Africa and Mozambique are attending a research workshop aimed at assessing how technology and AI can assist in the early detection of these diseases. The workshop focuses on computer-aided detection tools and ultra-portable X-ray units.
3 countries have come together with the aim of finding solutions for early detection of tuberculosis and silicosis before they severely affect people, especially those who have worked in the mines. Speaking during the official opening of the workshop, Stop TB Partnership Executive Director Dr. Lucisa Duity says these discussions taking place at this meeting are crucial.
What you will discuss today is groundbreaking, because it will speak about using the AI interpretation not just for tuberculosis but also for silicosis and for diagnosis. And that's not because we are all a bunch of nerds caring about X-ray and AI, it's because the easiest we make it for people to be diagnosed or screened, the easiest, the closest is coming to people that need to be screened, the better will be. There are all these barriers that are between people and access to diagnosis or screening that we need to remove, and it's not easy. But having a tool that is miniaturized and that is so easy to have the AI, to have it read and get a result in a few minutes, it's absolutely groundbreaking.
Secretary General of Eswatini Migrant Mine Workers Association, Vamajele, says they welcome the efforts to use technology in detecting tuberculosis and silicosis.
Sitawukhona ukuthi nangabe kuphumelela lemphumela ihamba kahle. Sikhona ukuthi ama-mine workers lamaningi akhona ukuthi abukwe noma a-checkwe ahlolwe ngedempilo kokuthi.
Jele says this initiative will enable more workers to be screened for TB and silicosis, as that the positive aspect is that for mine workers, it will be determined whether one qualifies for compensation or not. He says the use of AI will result in the increase of use of technology in the mining sector. The deputy chairperson of the Eswatini Parliamentary TB Caucus, who is also Stobela Member of Parliament, Honorable Mangoba Slongonyane, together with TB in the mining sector, focal person at the National TB Control Program, Mangoba Tabetse, said that as Eswatini is in the process of reopening mines, the knowledge gained from this workshop will help protect mine workers.
I'd love to forward appreciation for the opportunity that you're getting here. We're being sharpened, we're being equipped, and we shall be in a position back home in Eswatini to make informed decisions from an informed perspective when dealing specifically with issues of TB silicosis. So what I would love to appreciate mainly is the fact that they are now introducing AI, artificial intelligence, into the screening of TB. How will that help? That will help us tremendously, even as a country back home, Eswatini, because we won't have cases whereby people delay screening, or you find that they delay because they don't want to, or they are reluctant, or because they are insufficient or inadequate equipment. So once there's AI into the picture, people will be early, will have early diagnosis.
Which we need to actually enforce the screening of TB, especially in people who worked in the mines, the mine workers and the family members of people who worked in the mines. And also to enforce the implementation of active case finding, whereby we are actively screening for people in communities, screening them for TB, diagnosing them and initiating them on treatment.
On Friday, those at the forefront of this initiative here in South Africa, including the Stop TB Partnership Executive Director, are expected to proceed to Eswatini to take part in the events where the country will commemorate World TB Day and the relaunch of the Parliamentary TB Caucus. Reporting Fortune Dlangamandla, Rosenberg, South Africa.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Absalom Themba Dlamini says chief executives and company directors should work and always uphold integrity at all times.
The former Prime Minister Dr. Absalom Themba Dlamini, who was a guest speaker during the launch of the Institute of Corporate Directors, says transparency and honesty is key when leading an organization, and harmonious working relationship with the board of directors is key as well. Dr. AT was represented by the Central Bank Governor, Dr. Philemon Mnisi.
Failure to interrogate financial statements, audit findings, and risk exposures can lead to undetected fraud, misstatements, or financial instability. Infightings, politics, or passive disengagement among board members underpins or undermines decision-making and delays critical actions to be taken timely and decisively.
The audience then posed questions.
As a board, how do you deal with a influential and powerful head of the organization like you?
But at what point are we then striking a balance or putting a red tape? Because there's always a weakness of overstepping.
On the question of ethical blind spots, just a further explanation of that concept and how you can actually deal with it in a board.
The governor responded to those questions.
To the point where the CEO is weak, consequently the organization will be weak. That's when board members begin to be very operational. They are pushing the CEO. You come into the meeting is not ready. It's apologies, apologies, apologies. Sorry, the board paper arrives late. You ask the CEO, where was this? What is this? Sorry, can we come back to you? Can we come back to you? I think there you need to do a very, very and quick remedial action. In the private sector, it's generally easy because you just humbly request the CEO to step aside.
Reporting, I'm Kian Msibi at the Happy Valley, Ezulwini.
To date, 2.7 billion emalangeni has been transacted through the Eswatini Payment Switch Fast Payments module since its launch in December 2024. This was shared by the Deputy Director of Operations Payment Systems, Sabelo Gama, at the Central Bank when asked about the progress of the payment switch. Initially, transaction limits are set at 50,000 emalangeni for bank accounts and 10,000 emalangeni for mobile wallets, only for local payments.
The Eswatini Payment Switch Fast Payments module processes domestic payments below 50,000 emalangeni. This national initiative allows consumers to transfer money and make payments quickly and easily 24/7. Deputy Director Operations Payment Systems Sabelo Gama at the Central Bank of Eswatini shares the progress so far.
The payment switch has been operational for just over a year. With full participation being all financial institutions and mobile money service providers being on board for about 4 months now. We've processed 670,000, just over 670,000 transactions to the value of 2.7 billion emalangeni. So that's quite a significant number of transactions and value that has been moved.
All players, including banks, have now fully integrated into the Eswatini Payment Switch. Reporting, Nelson Dlangamandla, Ezulwini.
Eswatini's economy faces pressure as the Middle East war threatens a decline in economic growth of between 0.3% to 1%. This is informed by regional linkages, and the governor of the Central Bank of Eswatini highlights the potential impact, warning that prolonged conflict could indeed slow economic growth. A longer war means deeper strain and greater risk. However, if the war is short-lived, the impact could be limited. Let's listen to the governor as he gives insight on how the war could influence monetary policy direction.
As an open economy that depends on imports, albeit our imports come via South Africa in the majority, but we know that due to this war, there are some channels that are going to impact us negatively. The first one is the inflationary channel. Because of the increasing price of oil, it is definite that it will consequentially lead to increases in prices. We know that oil is a major input into many manufacturing activities. And here in Eswatini, we've got mega projects that certainly require this kind of input. So definitely, this channel of inflationary increase is going to impact us. And again, when prices go up, it means cost of production goes up. And this will have a negative effect on economic growth. So that is another channel where we are going to experience a negative impact. Right now, we are looking at projected growth of about 4.8%. When running various simulations, they are indicating that if this war stays longer, it could result in about 0.7% reduction or even 1% reduction in economic growth. But if it is in a shorter period, we are looking at a possible reduction of about 0.3%. That is very, very significant for a small economy of our size. So this is one. The last one, which definitely has got consequence to us, is unemployment. Because of these factors which are negatively impacting growth, then it has the resultant effect of people losing jobs, which is very, very unfortunate. This country needs economic growth and needs job creation on a sustainable basis.
MTN Eswatini continues to support and empower small businesses. They've hosted a workshop that is aimed at educating and empowering small business owners, specifically bakers, by equipping them with skills to grow and sustain their businesses. We have a report on that.
MTN Eswatini continue to empower small business owners by teaching them how to use digital communication platform for marketing and growing their businesses. The Chief Executive Officer of MTN Eswatini, Jerry Sogo, says it is their responsibility to support government's efforts in assisting small and medium enterprises.
SMEs contribute significantly to employment, to innovation, and more broadly to community development. And baking as an industry in particular is deeply embedded in everyday life, as I said initially. Whether it's in households, schools, whether it's in celebrations, Tandra spoke about celebrations, it forms every part of what we do. MTN Business Connect is a safe, collaborative space where we bring SMEs together, sharing experiences, challenges, and opportunities. We learn from each other, from industry experts, and of course from government as stakeholders. The insights and strengths that we'll gather, we, as I said earlier, hope that we will enhance not only your businesses, but society as a whole.
Home Economic Officer from the Ministry of Agriculture, Nigiwe Dlamini, encourages business owners to seize this opportunity with both hands.
Let's move towards the enterprise. We can't. There's so many shops. These shops are the same in from South Africa. These shops are the quality. Can you please?
Small business owner Andisa Matunja says training sessions like this are helpful as they benefit in many aspects.
Ukuqhushisana nje siniketane tikhali ukuthi nasiphuma lana kule workshop emabhizinisi ethu siwandlondlobalisa kuze ukuthi abe makhulu because MTN bekafuna ukuthi vele sikhule bemabhizinisi ekubhaka. Yes, ukufunda ngekuhandlisha ama-complaints ama-customer ngoba.
Matunja says the workshop has been beneficial as it has equipped them with clear understanding of effective marketing strategies they can now apply. The goal of the MSME policy 2024 to 2029 seeks to grow small business owners by helping about 70% of them who operate informally to register their businesses and gain access to support and markets. Reporting, Nombendulo Shabalala, Mbabane.
In our sports news, Instacash has increased its football sponsorship under the Eswatini Schools Sports Games from 410,000 emalangeni to 450,000 emalangeni. This was revealed by Instacash Mandla Ngumalo during the official launch of this year's games at Sikwaka House in Babane.
Instacash is now in its fourth year of sponsoring schools football under Eswatini School Sports Association. Last year, the company supported these games with 410,000 Malangeni, while this year the sponsorship has been increased to 450,000 Malangeni. Announcing this year's sponsorship, Instacash Managing Director Mandla Ngumalo says the strong relationship between the company and the School Sports Association is what drives their continued support. He also expressed gratitude for collaboration with various partners, including Eswatini TV, which began broadcasting the games last year. He noted that the country already has a structured program aimed at promoting physical education, and they appreciate the involvement of companies like Instacash in advancing this initiative. The president of School Sports Associations Academian highlighted the importance of these games for learners, including those from less recognized schools across the country. He also emphasized that teachers should not field ineligible players as this negatively affects the development of young athletes. Among the sponsors, Choma Sports, which joined last year, provided playing kits and tracksuit for the team that reached the finals. This year, the company will supply jerseys from the last 16 stage. The company's manager, Pilan Qaba, stated that they are committed to continuing their partnership with Instacash and School Sports to develop football at schools level. Other contributors include Websters, which donated 20,000 Malangeni, Andile Footwear, which will provide playing boots, and My Wardrobe Eswatini, which will sponsor suits for the best coach, the player of the tournament, and the top scorer. The Northwest University has also committed to providing netball kits for the regional champions. Instacash also clarified the issue of the wildcard system, stating that schools that previously benefited, such as Manzini Central, Mbaga High School, Evelyn Bering, will no longer receive it as it will now be given to a different school. Ngumalo explains that the wildcard is not awarded to the best performing school, but rather to a school that has shown strong commitment and support towards the competition. Reporting, I'm Linda Dlamini, Babane.
All right, let's go for a net break. We speak to the General Manager from Eswatini Air, Dumiso Shongwe, about how they plan to continue to expand as well as reflect on how far they've come, as well as to celebrate really this new route that they will be launching on the 1st of April to Lusaka, Zambia. Stay with us.
To all the viewers of Eswatini TV in the kingdom and beyond. Eswatini TV is regulated by the Eswatini Communications Commission through the Broadcasting Code and Broadcasting Guidelines. Under these instruments, the station commits to broadcasting information and news that have been fact-checked, programs and content in respectful language with no elements of hate speech, violence or sexual activity. If you hear any unsuitable content on this channel, you have a right to voice your complaints with the station management. Should you not be satisfied with the response or action taken, you can escalate your matter to the Communications Commission at PO Box 7811 Babane. Call 2406 7000 or send an email to info@esccom.org.za. For more information, visit www.esccom.org.za.
eside lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba-researche, bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhiqiza lokusemndeni.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Welcome back. It's a very beautiful time. It's a beautiful year, actually, for the Kingdom of Eswatini. A lot of milestones that are happening, as well as celebrations. Eswatini Air, I'm learning now that it's turning 3 exactly today, and it's doing it in a very beautiful fashion, because on the 1st of April, they will be launching their new route to Lusaka, Zambia, and indeed, they are reclaiming their space in regional aviation. But we do want to speak to, just reflect on how far they've come this past 3 years, as well as they continue to expand. How do they plan to really see this growth translate into real opportunities for travel, for trade, and most importantly, the country's economic positioning? We have Ndumiso Shongwe, the General Manager of Eswatini Air, in studio, sitting across me to really help us unpack these very salient questions. Shongwe, welcome to the program. Thank you so much for your time. Firstly, congratulations on turning 3 years today. Maybe let's just reflect on the past 3 years and how you plan to celebrate today.
Yes, thank you very much, Mguni. Thank you for inviting us to the show. Indeed, it is a very big milestone. Today we are celebrating 3 years. Exactly 3 years ago, we launched into the sky with our initial routes. In the past 3 years, we have seen a positive trajectory in terms of the numbers of passengers that have chosen to fly with us. In the 3 years, we have been able to start new routes that were never served before, like Cape Town and Durban and Harare. There was no flight from our kingdom to those destinations. But surprisingly, when we introduced the routes, there are passengers. So we have seen the numbers growing. From 2023, when we started at about 30% in terms of our load factor. And as we are today, we are talking of over 50% in terms of load factor. So the growth has been there. The nation has supported the airline, and they continue to support the airline.
Yeah, over 50% in just 3 years is indeed something to celebrate. And I'm happy to be amongst the people that are flying Eswatini Air. I promise to continue to fly Eswatini Air going forward, because I believe in, I'm sure you can see.
Definitely, we really appreciate the patriotism shown by the nation towards this national airline. It's really encouraging.
And certainly, we are keen to see and excited to see more people support as you launch this new route to Lusaka, Zambia on the 1st of April. Let's speak to that. It's a major step for Eswatini Air. What does it signal about the growth that you continue to be on?
Thank you so much, Mguni. When we started, the operation was not stable. So in the 3 years that we've been around, we have been able to stabilize the operation. Now that the operation is stable, we are looking at expanding. And we did a market potential analysis. We saw a number of opportunities for this route, and really it is going to benefit. There is a lot of activity between Lusaka and the kingdom. So that's the first step towards expanding our route network.
Yeah, perhaps before we further along this conversation, let's look at your other destinations. I know you fly to Cape Town, correct? You fly to Durban.
Yes.
You fly to Johannesburg.
Yes.
Lusaka is coming in. You also fly to. Are they not 5? Am I missing one?
No, thank you so much, Mgoni. We fly currently to 4 destinations. 3 in South Africa, Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. And then there's Harare in the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Right.
We are strengthening these existing routes. We are increasing frequencies as the demand gets higher. We are increasing frequencies into these existing routes. You will see we've already published our new schedule, which also begins on the 1st of April. We have added a frequency to Lusaka, and we have brought back the midweek frequency to Harare. So we are strengthening these routes.
Yeah, you are operating out of King Mswati, the 3rd international airport, which has been ranked world class in terms of just, what the facility looks like and how comfortable it is for people who choose to fly. Talk to me from a commercial standpoint, right? Are we fully utilizing its capacity? Is there still significant room for growth?
Definitely. Utilizing this state-of-the-art airport, King Mswati, the 3rd International Airport, is our foundation. It really gives us that advantage. And we have not fully utilized the capacity of the airport. So we need to collaborate with other partners, the airport operator, in terms of fully utilizing its capacity, increasing working hours. We currently close at about 9. Airports, 24 hours. So when we increase these routes, we are slowly increasing the utilization of this beautiful airport.
Yeah.
We hope with collaborations with other airlines, we can reach a full potential of this beautiful facility we have.
Aviation is a tough business globally, and I follow very keenly another anchor from the United States by the name Richard Quest, who just, he calls his whole thing My Quest to Fly. And he's very, frank around the very reality that aviation is a tough business, just globally. What is your commercial model today as Eswatini Air? Are you focused on profitability? Are you looking at market penetration or building long-term strategic routes first?
Thank you very much, Mguni. Initially, we as you see, our slogan is "Everyone must fly." We deliberately chose the slogan so that we can penetrate the market. That is our initial strategy: market penetration, remove people from the road and put them in the air, and we have achieved that. And then we have a goal of a long-term sustainability. We want to make this airline a sustainable airline. We doing this through prioritizing strategic routes that we are starting. Just like we're starting Lusaka on Wednesday.
Right.
We want to stimulate the demand and change the culture in Mswati, so that they choose flying as their mode of travel, because we know the benefits of air travel at all. Yeah. But profitability remains important. For now, we just want to break even and be self-sustaining, so that we drive the connectivity between the kingdom and the destinations that we currently serve.
And as you drive that activity, the profitability aspect, I suppose, then comes to the very fact that connectivity is directly linked to, let's say, economic activity, right? Let's speak to some of the tangible impact that you are beginning to see, particularly around existing routes in terms of tourism inflows. I think I was listening to the stakeholder engagement, and you had the ETA there. You were listening to people's ideas as to how we can continue to improve that very aspect, but also business travel as well as trade.
Yes, definitely, Mguni. Eswatini Air has opened opportunities for business travelers. Travel time has been significantly reduced for a business person coming from Johannesburg or Cape Town. Now the travel time is very short through Eswatini Air. They can do business here in and out in a day. Tourists, you know, we pride ourselves with our culture as a nation. We have the Big Five close by to the airport. Tourists are beginning to flow in. We have also seen a number of tourists from our neighbor in Mozambique who utilize Eswatini Air.
That's amazing.
So it is really amazing what this airline has done for the nation.
I wonder though, just from and when you collect your data, or just when you conduct your own eye study, Mr. Shongwe, from all the activities that we have, you cite our culture, which boasts a lot of amazing ceremonies that attract a lot of tourists from around the world. You cite the Big Five. There's also the entertainment aspect, you know, bushfire and that. What has been the biggest driver for tourism amongst all these things?
You know, tourism is seasonal.
Right.
So, you know, when you talk bushfire, during that season of bushfire, we have to increase our own capacity in terms of increasing frequencies to Johannesburg, Cape Town and Durban, just to accommodate this huge influx.
And we're going beyond the 50%.
We're going beyond we go beyond the 50-seater capacity that we have in terms of demand during those events. Come to your national, your Umhlanga. Definitely around those time we increase frequencies to these destinations because people are coming here. December holidays, same thing happens.
I mean, that's beautiful. One of the biggest frustrations for travelers in the region is cost and convenience. You speak about frequencies, you speak about reducing travel time. How do you continue to position yourself as Eswatini Air competitively against larger regional carriers?
Thank you, Mgoni. Our slogan again says everyone must fly. Including those who do not have a lot of money. We are priced reasonably in terms of our fares to any of our destinations. And we also pride ourselves in this level of service that we give to our passengers. Also, our airport, the transit is seamless. The passenger check-in, boarding, it's seamless and very fast. So that's the differentiation that we promote when we advertise our flights and our airport. It is very personalized.
So, I mean, certainly that price differentiation by means of a testimonial, a personal testimonial, I suppose, is the biggest separator for me between you guys and the other guys that are there. Right. But let's talk about partnerships. Are you exploring what you call interline agreements? There's co-chairs or collaborations with other airlines to expand the reach that you have beyond your current destination.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, we are relatively young, and the industry is highly regulated, Mr. Ngumalo. There are standards that we have to follow before these other airlines can accept us in terms of interline agreements and co-chair agreements. But luckily, we have been pushing for the relevant certification. There is what we call the International Air Transport Organization's safety standards.
Okay.
That there are about 924 standards that we have to comply to get this certification that will then enable us to enter into interline agreements and co-chair partnerships with other airlines. And we are going for that audit on the 13 to 17 April.
Does that mean, going for that audit means we've pretty much sort of hit or walked the north of 900 certifications that we need, right, to enter into these interline agreements? Are you telling me that after this audit, should everything go well, we are certainly getting into these agreements?
Definitely. That's what this certification is. What gives comfort to the other partners that you are adhering to international standards. So as soon as we have this certification, it is then that we approach them. But not that we've been sitting back. We have approached them. Most of the major players, particularly your Emirates, your Qatar, your Turkish, your KQ, we've approached them and say, as soon as you get your certification, come let's talk.
Yeah.
So we are preparing for
it's
those.
a tall order. It's a tall
It
order. And I'm
is.
certainly excited to see,
It is.
how the audit pans out, Mr. Shongwe.
Definitely.
Skills and capacity are critical, particularly around staff. Are you working on improving expertise there, or how satisfied are you with the expertise? Your flight attendants are very professional there, and they are quite warm. We love the food. The people at the airport are warm. How do you assess everything? Right?
Yes, we invest a lot in training our people for the operations. The aviation industry is very vibrant and changing every day. So our people must remain relevant. So we keep on training our people. We train our flight operations. We train our engineers, support staff, customer service, aviation management. We engage external expatriates who are here to also assist, and then the skills transfer between our people and those expatriates. So we are investing a lot in terms of training.
All right. Mr. Shongwe, thank you so much for your time. Eswatini Air turns 3 today, and he's just, taking us into some of the certifications that are required for them to enter into these interline agreements, which are going to speak significantly to how we continue to improve and have, very important agreements with other regional airlines. So we're excited for that. Happy birthday, happy 3 years to Eswatini Air, who are younger than my nieces and nephews, but have certainly done a lot in the space. We go for a net break. After the break, we speak to Dr. Bonginkosi Mafuze, special psychiatrist in the Kingdom of Eswatini right now, under the stewardship of Lina Mandla. Stay with us.
Ngime inkosi nyana. Khosapsi bakho Dlambule. Kutawudzingeka.
Ungathi imphendulo ikhona la. Kulamandi.
Bakhetha kungemuka inkosatana yami. Umjabula Ndlamu wami, nawe uyavuma abancane yalokho.
Gadla. Ditsibe.
Amaswati. Lokhu ala nyimpi. Ndawanyika. Bahlupheka kakhulu. Baphilisa kwetinqwayeya. Nganangizwile. Vumelanani sale kuhlangana into khona ukuthi kubhekane nanasi yesikhwa.
iBhayibheli lithi kwakude lebekadzingile emkhathini wabo ngoba lebekanako bekakuletha etinyathelweni tebapostoli bese bakudistributor according to the needs talabazalwane babo.
Sekabheka ilanga ukuthi nilanga lokweshumi kunesondlo semfundiso wondliwa kuthi wendene ngoba lithi iBhayibheli umundvodza iyodla ukuthi utayo yabona.
We don't collect the money by force. We receive the money from a cheerful giver. That's my position.
Amen.
So it seems as though the church is not doing anything. No.
Ngansi nalethi commerce uyatibukwa nyawo setinesefo la ngaphasi wafaka likhona iphumela phasi nemali.
Ukela lihlelo lwakho njalo ngomsombuluko ensimbi yesithupha kusihlwa emsakadweni wakho lohamba phambili Eswatini TV sibuko samaswati.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi.
Aba research bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhicita lokusembili.
Welcome back. A conversation around mental health that we promised you when we started the program today. Regrettably, mental health has been a side conversation for quite a very, very lengthy period. And yet we continue to see that it is quite essential. It is central to how societies function, how economies perform, and how individuals continue to live and work. Here at home in the Kingdom of Eswatini, access to specialist psychiatric care has often been limited, forcing many to either wait to travel or simply go without. And that gap is now being addressed. A Durban-based specialist psychiatrist is bringing his expertise across borders, introducing quarterly psychiatry clinics at Lina Mandla Medical Center starting this March. Dr. Bongingosi Mafuza joins me now and sits across me to help us frame this conversation better. Thanks so much for your time. Welcome to Eswatini. I hope you're enjoying your time. I hope the people that are hosting you are warm to you. We are known as very warm people in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Would you attest to that?
Thank you, Mr. Ngumalo, and greetings to your viewers. Definitely, it feels like I'm home, home away from home.
Yeah.
The people of Eswatini have been amazing, so I can definitely attest to having a good time here in Eswatini.
You speak isiZulu, doctor? Because isiZulu is
yes,
like
yeah, so ngiyakhuluma isiZulu nje kahle, so
okay, that's good. Okay, because I think I want us to speak in vernacular, particularly for this one. Maybe siyatukuza uhlala eDurban, right? With an established practice le eDurban. Why ute evenda kangwane and why now?
Okay, so I think the timing is right now, but okokuqala nje is because abantu laba engibabonayo eDurban are very much close to South Africa. The culture is very much close, so it's like I'm still within my people.
Right.
So there's not much of a cultural difference, a practical difference, but it's more of now Uguti, the stigma of mental health is now being, there is awareness about mental health. There's increased collaboration and willingness from partners to challenge mental health care issues. So I think the timing is more of bringing practical solutions into that space where there is now willingness to try and look at that. So clinics like Lina Mandla who have approached us to say, no, come through, we are willing to do this, and then we have availed ourselves.
Yeah, and then Mautsi utaguta gangwane tauba gangwane quarterly wasn't the best mathematician at school, but I believe that means 4 times a year. I don't know how long that period is, you know, in whatever visit that you come here for. Paint to umbukele khaya ukuthi kubukeka kanjani lokho on the ground, how many people can actually access your services if we were to give a ballpark estimate, as well as ngumaphi ama-cases lo prioritizako?
Okay. I think umbuzo lo obalulekile kakhulu. So it will come to about 4 to 5 nganje siqale manje ngoMarch. So on the ground what happens is prioritize moderate to severe cases, but for us it's not about the numbers, is it 10, is it 20, but it is the depth or the severity and the clinical outcomes aphumayo from the people that we do eventually access or we eventually reach. So kumina nje on the ground, when I come here, it's more about ensuring ukuthi labantu that we do see there's an impact on them and we get clinical outcomes. Akusizi ukuthi you saw 100 people but only 2 get better. So providing this specialist care is more about improving the clinical outcomes and also educating our local practitioners on ukuthi intoni ngenzeka the other 2 months I'm away from Eswatini. So in terms of continuity of care, there have been suggestions of leveraging with digital mental health care. So most of our clients we will be doing virtual follow-ups when I am not here. And we can also collaborate with other users. And I believe at Lina Mandla from next month, they will be piloting a digital healthcare service delivery model. We saw this during COVID lockdown where people couldn't access any healthcare. So we do have a basis to learn on. no, it's possible ukuthi if you've only got one psychiatrist lapha Eswatini, you can still improve access, because abantu traveling from far and wide, as you said, we introduction, ukuthi others have to travel to neighboring countries or communities. With digital healthcare service model, we can be able to reach out to more people.
I'm happy you answered the question around continuity, because, you know, access is one thing, but continuity is very important. And if you're coming here in between 3 months, that space in between would have been very, you know, worrying for someone from the outside looking in. But I'm glad that you've addressed it, and the fact that you know, our locals here have an opportunity to learn a lot in between that time. I want us to speak about your work, which spans across clinical psychiatry, it spans across public mental health, and even sports psychiatry. How do all those worlds intersect?
So basically, it's more about integrating human performance and well-being. So human performance both in the sporting space and also just general human performance in non-athletes. So my approach to mental health care has been from these 3 models, where in terms of clinical delivery is treating those mental illnesses, and then in the sporting model is that we can use exercise as a mode of prevention and treatment. And then with public mental health is how we can educate, how we can prevent, and how we can create more sustainable models that can help to improve or sustain human performance and well-being. Because at the end of the day, as you've said, it's about the functioning of societies, it's about the sustainability of economies. So mental health does have a huge impact when it comes to the functioning of a person. So if we can find ways to prevent, to treat, and to sustain, then we can have a high-performing nation and one with a sustained well-being of its citizens.
I think you've answered a question I've been asking myself for some time now. I took back gym just about a year and a half ago, and I've certainly fallen back in love with basketball, and I've noticed that I've been happier. Is that what you do recommend really when we particularly speak about sports psychiatry?
So yes, definitely. One of the things, sports psychiatry, sports mental health is a relatively new field in the world. So what it encourages is not just only participating in a sport, but any form of exercise, any form of movement will help in increasing those hormones that make us feel happy. Most people will notice that when you go to gym, you are much happier, you're in a good space. So it's not about the type of sport, but the movement and the exercise, which helps in us making us feel better, is more of the goal than, because now people will be pressured with, I need to get a gym membership. No, the difference can start by you going to work, 11-story building, take the lift up to the 6th floor, then you walk the rest of your way up there instead of, you know, it's more about exercise. And the World Health Organization actually has prescriptions in terms of exercise, with how much exercise umuntu angayenza per day. So
great.
With exercise, it's a form of management of prevention and also the treatment of some of our mental health problems.
Yeah, because I know someone at home right now is probably watching us and beating their chest and saying, I exercise, and yet they strain their body, they're doing too much or too little. I'm glad that you do mention that there is a recommendation of how much of exercise you need to do. But there is still a significant stigma around mental health, all around the world, really. In your experience, what has been the biggest misconception that is still holding people back from seeking help today?
I think people, when they see mental health, because it's not a physical symptom, just like how when you fall and break your leg, it seems like there's this misconception that you are weak. Why can't you just get through this, you know? So it seems as if it's something that it's easy to get over. I mean, we don't say when someone falls and breaks their leg that, I mean, just stand up and walk. We address it. So the same thing with mental health. Mental health is a medical condition, and it needs the necessary attention, just like how we have physical problems. So with the stigma, I really think the big misconception is that mental health you can just control with your mind and just get over it. But it's very different with someone who's suffering from a mental illness to be motivated to get through that without any professional help.
Dr. Thank you for your time. Welcome to Eswatini. First practice underway already?
Yes, no, definitely.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mafuze Bonginkosi. This has been our conversation on expanding access to specialist mental health care in Eswatini. We come to the end of the program, and we just do want to make, by way of clarification on one of the stories that you watched during our news bulletin, particularly around the Ministry of ICT and the questioning of the portfolio committee there around the digital revolution in Eswatini and the progress that has been made so far. And we just want to, assure you that the digital revolution is certainly underway, and a lot of progress is being made by the ICT portfolio, particularly around content monetization, as well as the Google partnership. We heard the minister say that she will submit the MOU that was signed with Google to the members of parliament, to the cabinet really, for their satisfaction as well. But she did clarify, and she was frank, that the YouTube story is a little bit different, with which she said that it will also be submitted through a document that will cite in black and white and with clarification to the committee members. And of course, you will get to enjoy those stories on Eswatini TV in our news. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning again. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.